hear it, so I
That's right.
apologize.
That's right. So let
It's
me give a
hard. It's
short
getting harder and
introduction.
harder to be home.
Yes. Let me give you an introduction. I mean, everybody an introduction of who you are. Cheryl Riley is the director of Respect Life in the Archdiocese Newark, my diocese too. Director of Mercy House, facilitates Rachel's Vineyards retreat since 1998. That's 22 years, Cheryl.
I know. Long
Office member
time.
of 2020 Pro-Life Coalition, collaborates and co-sponsors with Grief of Grace Ministry, witness with Silent No More in the yearly March for Life, wife and mother and grandma. Welcome, and we're
hmm
so happy that you're here, and we can't wait to hear what you have to say about Rachel's Vineyard.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, and I'll get off right now.
You don't have to get off. You could stay on. Um, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I could hear you. I could hear you.
Okay.
You're fine.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Like I said, I can't wait to get back to the office and for the new normal. It's been hard, as you know, like everybody, especially with technology. Um, but anyway, I'd like this opportunity to speak about Rachel's Vineyard, especially now during this pandemic when people are home in their house with family members. It's a time for them to really, turn to prayer or think about things that they've gone through and maybe some choices that they'd like to make in the future regarding their healing. As we know, like you said, abortion is definitely an evil. And I feel I say it's the devil's greatest accomplishment that a mother can, take her own child's life. But it's not as simple as that. There's a lot of factors that go into that decision when a woman makes that choice to have an abortion. And through Rachel's Vineyard Ministries, we're able to find hope and healing for women and men. A lot of people don't realize that men suffer just as much as the women when it comes to abortion. But in Rachel's Vineyard, we're able to bring hope and healing to those that have gone through that abortion experience. I was on the first retreat in the Archdiocese of Newark in 1997. And after I made the retreat, I knew that I had a story to tell. And I knew that, the truth needed to be told about abortion and how I found healing right in my own backyard, the Catholic Church. There was a period after my abortion where I didn't think that I deserved to turn to my faith or even deserved to be in a church. And I suffered for 12 years after my abortion before I found Rachel's Vineyard. It was the first retreat, like I said, in the Archdiocese of Newark, and we've been running them since 1997. We currently have 2 Spanish retreats and 2 English retreats in the Archdiocese. We're the longest running site in the world. We've had thousands of people come through our doors for the healing and the hope that we can offer them. We also sponsor the Grief to Grace retreat, which is a retreat for abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, and spiritual abuse. And we collaborate with the Grief to Grace Ministries in Aston, Pennsylvania on those retreats as well. The Respect Life office offers these healing ministries because we know firsthand that healing is really what's going to change people's hearts and minds, especially when it comes to abortion. The best person to talk about abortion and to say how it harms you is the person that has gone through it. And that's what we try to do. Now, not everybody that goes on a retreat is going to want to go out and speak about their experience. However, there are some of us that will, because we don't want anybody to go through the pain that we've gone through. So, like I said, for myself, I had my abortion when I was 19 years old. I made that decision because my boyfriend basically told me to. And I did it because I didn't want to lose him, because I loved him. I thought that I'd have that abortion and I'd end up being with him later on and marrying and having a nice life with him. And that was so far from the truth of what happened to me when I left the abortion clinic that day. I suffered a tremendous amount of pain and grief and guilt. I turned to drugs. I turned to alcohol. I turned to anything to numb the pain. And I pushed God out of my life because I thought I was damaged goods and God didn't want anything to do with me. And I suffered, like I said, and I went to counselors and therapists and, different faiths. I was able to marry. I was able to, stand on the altar the day of my wedding and stand there and say, I wanted to be a good wife and I wanted to be a good mother someday, but I took that abortion right into my marriage. And I will say that a large amount of marriages will end because of an abortion. Either the abortion was brought into the marriage or the couple can't sustain that. Abortion's a trauma, right? You can't bring trauma into a marriage and then expect your marriage to last. And that's what happened to me. I brought this abortion into my marriage. My husband had no idea what he was getting into marrying a post-abortive woman. But I tried to make it work. So after my second child, I knew I needed help and I really didn't know where to go. And it was my own parish bulletin that mentioned a Rachel's Vineyard retreat. And I called, and the rest is history. I went on that retreat. God blessed me with a third child. But it was really that retreat that I was able to do three things. One, I was able to ask God to forgive me for what I did. And two, I was able to ask my child to forgive me for what I did and name her and memorialize her on that retreat and give her dignity. And third, I was able to forgive myself. And that's the hardest. That's the hardest for us to do, is to forgive ourselves. A lot of times we think other people deserve healing, but we don't. I always like to say on the retreats that, Jesus didn't hang on the cross and say, well, I'm sorry, I'm not up here for post-abortive men and women. He forgives all of us if we just really ask for it. And when I left the retreat, I knew that so many were wounded and suffering from abortion. So I knew that through this Rachel's Vineyard ministry, we were able to go out and just continue the healing. And I thank God for the Archdiocese of Newark that they sponsor these retreats. And then Dr. Teresa Burke, who founded Rachel's Vineyard, who without her, she saved so many lives, especially my own. She's just an amazing person. I can't say enough about her. And then she went on to create Grief to Grace to heal the wounds of abuse. Because many times in Rachel's Vineyard, we see that sexual abuse and abortion will go hand in hand. So these ministries, somebody's suffering. There's a lot of people suffering, and you don't know what goes on with people. But when we offer hope and healing, that's how we're going to change people's minds and hearts about abortion, especially to bring to light about all the people that suffer from abortion, the men, grandparents, siblings. It's a ripple effect. And, they'll say, one alcoholic will affect 5 people. It's the same as abortion. So I'm proud to be part of the Archdiocese of Newark. I thank God for the support that they've given. We make a commitment to help women keep their children. We make a commitment if they want to keep their babies to help them. And we do that through our Mercy House, which is a resource and referral center under the Respect Life office in the Archdiocese. It's located in Newark. And it's there that we're able to give resources to help women and families and anybody that comes through the doors. It started as a place where women could come if they choose to keep their babies. And it turns out that we actually help the entire community. So anyone that knows me knows that I don't just, talk the talk. I walk the walk. I've never stood outside an abortion clinic. I don't hold graphic signs. I don't do any of that. That works for other people. It doesn't work for me. I just make a commitment to help people and see the face of Christ in everybody that walks through my door, and make a commitment, like I said, to help women that want to keep their children. I will say that we could claim that we saved many lives at the abortion clinic, and that's great. But then what do we do to help those women after? And, we're in challenging times right now. People need help. And that's really what we try to do in the Respect Life office, myself and my associate director, Patty Decker, and all the volunteers that help us. We really just make a commitment. And through Mercy House, we've helped over probably 1,300 people so far. And you'd be surprised how just one little thing that you give them can go a long way. But this all would have never have happened without the healing that I received through the Rachel's Vineyard, and through the continuous healing that I continue to receive. And just to have God in my life, and just to allow him to keep doing the work that I'm doing and keep getting the support. We get a bad rap a lot of time. Catholics get a bad rap, and I just want to say that, I'm down there in Newark, and we're the Catholic Church, and we're there in the forefront. Respect Life office is always on the forefront, helping people, never to turn anybody away for financial support for the retreats. And that's just who we are, and that's what we'll continue to do. So much more information about the retreats, you could contact my office. It's cheryl.riley@arcan.org, or you could call my cell phone, 201-60-2961. You could text. If you want more information, the next Rachel's Vineyard retreat is English. God willing, that we'll be able to have it due to what's going on. And just if you know someone suffering from an abortion, if you could just let them know that there is hope and healing. And just call the office, even if you want to talk and you know someone, and we're there to help. So I hope that came across okay. I'm on my cell phone.
Oh my gosh, Cheryl, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
So
when you gave your testimony. What was that?
Thank you, Karen. I said thank you, and I hope that people realize that there's healing.
When you gave your testimony, I felt so proud of you. I mean, even though you had to hold on to 12 years of that darkness, when you had that healing, it's like up to now you're helping people. So all of that gave you the energy and the will to want to help people going forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because sometimes people will try other routes to heal from their abortion. And I did that for 12 years. And it wasn't until I went on the Rachel's Vineyard that I realized that was the piece to the puzzle.
Wow. Beautiful.
So thank you, Karen. I'm sorry about what happened in the beginning.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
Like I said, I'm out of sorts. For me, working from home, I hate it, but I can't wait to get back to the office. I got a lot going on here.
You look like you're a very busy person, and this is a different life for you, being in this quarantine.
Having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and thank you.
It's a much different light. It is. So, thanks, Karen. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.